Okay, boys and girls. So some basic drum patterns. We're going to go over how to break these down, learn them separately, and then you have to be patient with yourself because you have to get your limbs organized, and that's a process. And that's a process that goes on for a long time, even after you do your basics. So I'm not a master drummer, but I do know enough about learning to teach basic drum patterns. Okay, let's get started. Close the leave the hi-hat down. So don't worry about the pedal at all. We're going to take that factor out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to learn that the hi-hat is always playing. So let's play quarter notes on the hi-hat like this. Those are 4 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're using a number system and we're thinking about slots. On slot 1 and 3, add the bass drum like this. Make sure you can play it just like I did. Look at how I'm playing the hi-hat. The way I'm moving, the way I'm striking, the consistency. Every note's the same. Count to yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you always set up the beat inside your body before you play. Now add the bass drum on slot 1 and 3. 2, ready, and. My first hit wasn't with my hand, so I'm going to clean that up and make sure they happen at the same time. 2, ready, and. When I play the bass drum, I don't do this with a hi-hat. I don't play harder on those counts, I just play them. So first I do the bass drum. 2, same notes, then same with the hi-hat. Equal in size, and then I combine them. Okay, now we're going to do a different part of the drum beat, which is the hi-hat, which is always playing, plus the snare on slots 2 and 4, like this. Same thing, 2, ready, and. Now basically, when we're learning drum set, the hi-hat and the snare stays the same, and we change the bass drum. So I'm going to take this part, and I'm going to add the bass drum like this. That's snare on slots 2 and 4. Now the bass drum's going on slots 1 and 3. 2, ready, and. And then once I've learned to do that, just that, then I try and do it twice. And it's going to be a different feeling. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, and again. Okay, now we're going to take the bass drum and we're going to put it on every single slot. If you want to practice that, do it like this. It's hi-hat and bass drum, then it's together, everything. And then you do that twice. So it would be like this. So now what's happening is the hi-hat and the bass drum play all the time. And the snare is on 2 and 4. That's another way to play the same basic pattern. So we learned 2 patterns so far. One of them has bass drum on slots 1 and 3. One of them has bass drum on all the slots. And remember, we're leaving hi-hat and snare the same no matter what, at least for now. 1. Let's do this pattern with the bass drum on all the slots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you can play that proficiently and you can do it 4 times in a row, think about it 4 times, okay? In drumming, we tend to play 4-bar phrases. Let's just go with that for now, okay? Think in packages of 4. When you get to the end of it, see if you can play a cymbal on beat 1. So try this out. Replace your hi-hat note and move it to the cymbal and continue on, which looks like this. Okay? Beat 1, then I go back to the hi-hat. So put it this way, you're allowed to replace slot 1 with a cymbal hit if you want. Usually we do it if we play 4 bars of the drum beat. Usually we do it on beat 1. We play it on beat 1, we wait 4 bars, we play it on beat 1. That's just a simple way of thinking about it, okay? So let's practice that where we play, well, I need to demonstrate that you should not do this. You should not go. That is adding a beat. That is going 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not what we want. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So be very careful not to add an extra slot when you're moving your hi-hat note over to the cymbal. Let's take the same pattern and move it to the ride cymbal. Okay, so we're going to play over here now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, same process. Put your first note on the cymbal and then back to the ride cymbal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right there I did the bass drum on every beat. So now you've got some combinations you can do with these quarter note drum beats. You can move this hand around and do some different sounds. So start to experiment. Remember, your right hand can play on any cymbal. Just get used to staying steady while you move your right hand around like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, while you're doing that, even if you move your right hand around randomly, you're not allowed to add beats. So always tell yourself, okay, I'm going to play 2 measures, and then be moving around, but keep track of where you are. So no matter what, remember you've got 4 slots. Play a measure of 4 slots, and you can play 2 measures, you can play 4 measures, you can play 8 measures, but make sure what you're doing is logical. Don't be random. Keep track.